What are some jobs where you absolutely cannot make a mistake? Underwater welder. Painting. Because there is no such thing as a mistake. Only happy accidents. Bob Ross is smiling because of your comment, and so am I. There are many where you absolutely shouldn't make a mistake. But in most cases, as long as it really is a mistake, you still can make it and your life will be more or less fine on the other side. I guess personal doctor to a warlord or third world dictator might be different. Honestly. So long as you make the right mistake, they'll never know. The job where you put a newborn baby in their bed in the hospital. If you get a baby mixed up, it is going to go home with the wrong family. Shuffle the babies. Here we go. Where they'll end up, no one knows. Ice cream scooper. All it takes is one peanut allergy. My nut allergy felt this very hard. My allergy nut very hard this felt. Fireworks manufacturer. Reddit commenter. Don't say anything out of line or he will hear you. The HIVEMIND. Don't let them catch you. They'll reveal your personal information. We did it, Reddit. We made a 14-year-old kill himself because he didn't like Minecraft. Crane operator. Especially tower when you're hundreds of feet in the air. Not sure how this hasn't been said yet. Extremely stressful job with lives at stake with the slightest mistake. Someone may correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe there are strict regulations on being licensed and during work as well. They get paid a ridiculous amount too. My current job. Furnace. If you so much as input an extra zero by mistake, bro, that's your life and the life of how many people were within the blast zone. Video game coding. It's not a mistake. It's a feature. Being Kim Jong-un's assistant. IT salesman. You just blame the developers. Edit. Spelling. I misunderstood this to mean what job is so simple you couldn't go wrong and thought everyone was being hella sarcastic. Fortune teller. People believe or don't believe. Whatever you say. You cannot mess up. The team who paints the lines on the highways. Being the ad guys for clicks. Bomb diffuser. When I was studying, we used to joke that the only difference between a doctor and a structural engineer was that doctors kill in ones. BTW, I am a structural engineer. Pretty much every job has leeway for mistakes. They also have checks in place to prevent mistakes. Machinist. A badly optimized one. I worked making radioactive pharmaceuticals and there was plenty of safety nets for human error, specifically because they could be so dangerous and expensive. Human error is unavoidable. You have to figure out what they're likely to be and make sure they can be corrected and discovered early. Commander of a secret command bunker responsible for tracking nuclear missile launches. Stanislav Petrov was able to make the right call and avoided a nuclear war. Tattoo artist. Anything NASA does. Doctor and pilot. Anesthesiologist. Too much patient might not wake up and too little wakes up in surgery. It's a funking nightmare and also a good writing prompt. Sculptor. Soldier in North Korea. Pharmacist. Judge. Well, they often do. Dear. Sadly. X. Those guys who send satellites into space. There's so much trash they have to avoid. Airplane mechanic. And I'm here thinking you asked for jobs so easy. You can't make a mistake. My endodontist better not beep up this root canal I have tomorrow. Sweet dreams. Ideally the police, but well, clearly they can. Crane operator. Almost every lower middle poor class job in a third world country, because if you commit a mistake not only you will lose your job. Finding other job is next to impossible. Your fate is worse than death itself. Oil plant operator. Everything is flammable. This is a weird one. But my dad used to work in a factory that produced the rubber mat part of a treadmill. He said you would get these huge sheets of the stuff. And every few seconds you had to press a button while holding a lever to cut the sheet in the right place. You were supposed to hold the lever / push the button with both hands. BC a hydraulic press was used to sever the sheet. So using both hands ensured that your hand wouldn't get in the way of the press. My dad had a work friend who found out he could do it faster if he used one hand to pull the lever, press the button, and use his hand to help feed the sheet through. Since they were paid based on how many sheets they cut, this seemed like a good idea. Needless to say, he suddenly wasn't there anymore and they had to shut down the place for a few hours to clean up the mess. My dad heard he lost his hand in the hydraulic press. Being my girlfriend's partner. Nuclear power plant. And also a sniper. A KP it would seem. But surgeon. Any job with a speepty boss. Brain surgeon. No such job. It's just what mistakes you can make. Surgeon can do a lot of mistakes. Just not surgery mistakes. Tattoo artist. I would know. My old volunteer job where I prepared animal diets at a zoo. Screw something up. And the food may go to the wrong animal, or animals may get the wrong food, or too much / not enough. You could get reasonably yelled at by zookeepers who love the animals as if they're their children. You could accidentally get an animal sick or even a keeper sick. Some had allergies to certain foods. Lots of stuff went into it. It was one of the funniest positions ever, though. A doctor. Aerospace engineering. Nuclear reactor worker. We all know what happened in Chernobyl. Depends on the magnitude of the mistake / task. Most jobs have leeway with some tasks. Like pilots can go to the wrong gate and live to tell the tale. Or surgeons can go into the wrong room and brief a patient on a surgery they're not having. Etc. On the other hand, an insurance underwriter, which seems like such a boring casual job compared to a surgeon or astronaut, can absolutely destroy lives. So, many jobs where you affect people's lives has some tasks that you can't mess up. Defusing the bombs. I thought this was a post about jobs it's impossible to make a mistake so us idiots could find a line of work. Obviously not as important as doctors or such, but I sell wedding dresses. If you screw something up with that, you pretty much want to crawl into a hole and cry for weeks. An angry bride, or worse, an angry mother, will get vicious. Luckily I've never mess up someone's order. Just had to fix other people's mistakes. Anesthesiologists. Emergency alert system. Wait. Unless you want to see me again in 2 minutes. Whoever puts together my drive-through order. Air traffic control. Pilots. Air traffic controller. One of the most stressful jobs out there. I worked as a CNC machinist for a company that made upper and lower receivers for X. The tolerances on them were rather tight. Being more than 1/1000th of an inch off and you'd have to scrap the piece. Aircraft maintenance technician. Kim Jong-un's right-hand man. Surgeon. If you fidget you mince the heart and kill the patient. Surgeon. Electrical lineman. One little beep up and you've got 50,000 volts of electricity going right through you. Surgeons. Or maybe just doctors. Surgeon. Translating for world leaders that are not on good terms. Batman. Space engineer. Email marketing. Artist. In the words of Bob Ross, there are no mistakes, only happy accidents. HVAC. If you don't tighten a gas pipe tight enough that can create leaks and one spark can make the whole house explode. Tattoo artist. Fast food employees. They never make mistakes. A waiter in Grand Hotel. Art teacher. Air traffic controller. Brain surgery probably. In Karen's world, every job is a job where you absolutely cannot make a mistake. Nuclear plant operator. Anesthesiologist. High voltage electrician. One wrong move and you're cooked. Literally. I had an officer in the Navy who had to pick up brain and skull matter on the flight deck of the carrier he was on when someone stepped in the way of props on an E-2C Hawkeye. Also, the arresting gear can snap when recovering aircraft and break your legs. Also, lots of people have probably seen the video of the guy sucked into the intake of a EA-6B Prowler. Those beepers were dangerous. I fueled them on deployment, and if their exhausts were going, they could blow you overboard. You don't want to fall overboard on a carrier, let alone any ship really. If no one sees it, you're beeped. Yeah, they'll search for you for a couple days. The searches conducted while I was deployed to the Arabian Sea, 3 separate legit man overboards ended with no recovery of even a body. Gotta stay frosty.